Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the PUSHAS Podcast. My name's Justin,
I'm Sandy.
and we thought we would do something a lot more casual. You know, usually our other YouTube videos or our lives or our Instagram posts, they're a lot more structured and a lot more prepared, I guess. But we want to get to know you guys and let you guys know us a bit more. And so this is off the cuff, casual, smooth.
It's like we're going on a date. So, let's see what we talk about when we're dating, huh?
Had too much of that over the past 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm joking. But yeah, just something casual.
I would love to talk more about sneakers as well, what's happening in the sneaker community, what's going on in the world.
What's on our minds, I guess.
What's on our minds, how we think through things.
We'd love to get guests in once in a while, just to talk, shoot the crap with them.
100%.
But yeah,
and just have some fun.
Yeah, and just have some fun. But yeah, I think the first episode, how I want to start these podcasts is just start off every week just being, hey, what's been on your mind? And I think it's good, right? Because it kind of wraps up the week and lets us figure out what's been on our minds with work or anything that we find interesting.
So is this basically an episode of therapy where we expose our deepest, darkest secrets on camera? Is this what it is, Justin?
No.
You're out to get me already.
No. Yeah, I think for me, the thing that is on my mind this week is probably our 7th birthday.
Yeah.
So PUSHAS has, I don't know if you've been following us on Instagram and TikTok and our email list and everything like that, but yeah, PUSHAS just turned 7 a couple of days ago. So on the 1st of May.
How do you feel? How does that make you feel, Justin?
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I guess you put out a post this week. You sent it all to our buyers, and you shared it on our Instagram as well. I think just from the feedback we got from our community, it's been mostly positive. But I want to know how you feel, Justin.
So I think I wrote about how I feel on that email that we sent out. And our email list is like hundreds of thousands of people, so it's a lot of people.
How did you feel writing that email? Because I just got a Slack message. Hey, I'm gonna send this out, and I'm like, okay. But how did you feel?
It was a bit of a YOLO because the 1st of May. Was it a Tuesday or Wednesday?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So I remember coming into work, and I was like, no, actually, on Monday, I was like to John, hey, John, we've got to do some stuff because our birthday's coming up.
For those of you who don't know John is our, how would you describe
He's
John?
our all-around the media guy.
Yes. He's our MVP.
Yeah. And I think for me, I was just like, John, we need to get something out for our birthday in a couple of days, right? Obviously, we didn't plan it well enough. But it was the Wednesday morning, and I was like to John, hey, did you get it out? And he's like, oh, shit, man, didn't get it out. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it. You have a lot on plate, and John's been hustling hard the past couple of weeks. So I was like, you know what? I can get this together. I'll figure something out. And at first I was going to go into Canva, because obviously John photoshops, and he, does he's on Premiere, and he's actually doing proper stuff that you guys see on our Instagram and our TikTok and everything. But I was like, I was going to go on Canva and do a happy 7th birthday. But I was like, I can't do any of this crap. I'm crap at this. So I was like, I'm going to write an email. Right? And it was really random. I was drinking my tea. My milk tea, that I make every morning. And yeah, it was just a off the cuff. So I think I sent out the email at 10:30 or something, but I started writing at 9:45. So no editing. I was just kind of stream of consciousness, writing out how I felt. And yeah, I think everything that I felt was kind of, well, because I knew that it was sending out to our community of mostly buyers that have bought from us before. It was kind of more tailored to them. I think I could have expanded it on a lot more, talking to all the the partners that we've worked with, all the the sellers on our platform, or the influencers that have been in all our campaigns, or our investors, or all the stakeholders that we've worked with over the past 7 years. I think I could have written something more towards them, but because I think the majority of people that received this would have been our community of buyers, I targeted them. But I think for me it was just wow, can't believe it's been 7 years. So much has happened. I don't think neither of us have imagined us to be here. And we've been through so much. Like, it's a lot of hardship, right? Like, everything we've been through, it's not easy. I think a lot of people, look at what we've done, what we've achieved. Being on Forbes, being on, Complex. On the Australian top 100 innovators. They're like, wow, like these guys must be like killing it. And yes, I think to our credit, we're doing pretty well. But the other side of it is that like it's been really tough. And I think when you look back, and it's not until you stop and reflect that you're like, holy shit, man! Like, can't believe we survived this, right? Like, can't believe we gone through this. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm a bit like, when I wrote it, I didn't think I'd go that deep. I thought it would just be like, hey, look, it's our 7th birthday. Yeah, celebrate with us. Thank you. And it was just simple as that. But then I kind of went a bit too far and just kind of kept going and wrote it out. And it's a long ass email, and I sent it out, and I didn't really spell check it or anything, and it just got sent out. And then that was it. So yeah, I think I feel really really pensive. I think that's the word. Like, just kind of looking back 7 years. What about you? How do you feel about the 7 years?
I thought this was going to be a 40-minute video of you just talking about how you feel. Now I know why you wanted to start this video, just so you can talk to me.
I just did it then. Like, you're never going to, sit down with me for like 3 hours and talk to me. So
yeah, just for
you're like, I'm too busy. You got shit to do.
Yeah, just for context, Justin always wants to talk to me, but I can't talk to him.
Look,
I've got
you're
things
a busy
to do.
boss lady. You got things to do.
So I guess you probably wanted to start this so you and I can date. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that. I got a spat. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, your message was nice. I feel like it was very raw. Yeah. When I read it, it kind of reminded me of back in the days when you used to blog. Do you remember when you had your own WordPress and you used to journal and blog and take photos and actually blog and vlog as well? Yeah. So I thought it took me back to 2017, Justin, where it was like, you know what? Like, I want to sit down, I want to reflect, and I want to share my life. So it was very nostalgic reading what you wrote.
But how do you feel about our 7 years? How do you feel? You're the other half of this equation. So how do you feel?
I think for me, I feel, sorry, I guess I don't really sit down and think about how I feel, because, time every day kind of passes.
You don't have time to think about how you feel, right?
Like, reflect about how you feel. But I think for me, I just think about it day by day. Well, sorry, rewind. I don't know how I feel. I'm a little bit confused. Like, I can't even string a sentence. I feel
you haven't thought about how you feel? Or?
I haven't thought about how I feel. I can't believe it's been 7 years since we started this business. Like you said, it's gone by so quickly, but when I thought about when we first started with 20 shoes, that felt like so long ago. It was like
10 shoes.
10 shoes.
I don't even think it was 20 shoes. I remember putting the Shopify listings up.
So long ago. But when you think 7 years has passed, it didn't feel that quick. But I guess, I think we've accomplished so much as a team, as individuals.
Wait, it didn't feel as quick, or it felt quick?
It felt quick.
Yeah.
So it felt quick.
Yeah.
But when I look back where we were, it was like, whoa, that was so long ago. That was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But it's just gone by so quickly.
Mm.
Does that make sense? So
yeah.
I kind of string a sentence.
Breathe. Take a deep breath in.
Yeah. So, the journey's been insane.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone through so much together.
Yeah.
We've gone through so much as a team. We've accomplished so much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like we have so much more to go.
Yeah, that's
so
where
much more.
Yeah,
this is literally the first stepping stone to what we want to build.
Mm.
So I think for me, that's why I don't have much time to reflect on the past, because, I always like to look into the future to see how we can keep getting better.
Yeah.
So for me, 7th birthday, that's great. But, we got to keep going. We got to keep going.
What were the, highlights for the past? Like, what's one highlight in the past 7 years of doing this?
I think it's just the people. It's always the people.
Yeah.
It's the people you meet along the way. The team, the family you build, the family you work with. the cool and interesting things you get to do with cool people as well. That would be my highlight.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, like I've always, and something that we've been working on this week was like our vision and mission for the company, and yeah, one thing that I think it kind of distilled down to was like being able to do cool shit with cool people, and yeah, I think for me the highlight has been being able to connect with really cool people doing really cool things, and somehow collaborating with them or working together or investing in things together or and when I mean investing in things together, just investing your time, doesn't have to be money, right? Just investing your time together on projects, doing things together, and like that's been really motivating, right? Like I think the reason why we started this in the first place was because we just wanted to do something different, right? Like we were like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to I don't want to do my, I don't want to go into law and do that stuff. So,
and I guess just for context, when we first started 2017, it was very much 9 to 5. It was very much go to high school, get an ATAR, go to uni, get a job, work 9 to 5. For me, have a family, buy a house, and that was it. So when we started a business, especially sneaker reselling, it was very, it was just very, how do I say, far off the.
A lot of people are like,
what are you doing? What are you doing? How do you explain to your mum, hey, I'm just gonna sell shoes online?
Yeah.
She was just like, you have a degree, you have a teaching degree, you went to uni for like 4 years. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? My grandma was pestering my mum every single time she saw, what's your daughter doing? She's lost it. She's crazy. Off the rails, right? And your parents, you have
I think the difference with me was that like I ended up doing my degree part-time to show that I was still doing something, right? And like I'm like, I'm still finishing uni, so doing my commerce and law degree part-time, and then whilst doing the business. So I think when I came back from doing exchange at UC Berkeley for the summer semester, I had I'm pretty sure I had 1 year left, but then I did part-time just to drag it out to 2 years. So I told myself, okay, if this doesn't work out in 2 years, I'm gonna get a real job, right? And so,
but what is a real job nowadays, right?
Yeah. Of course.
What is a real job?
But I think back then, it was easier for me because I was just, my parents were just thought I was still studying, right? And we were still working part time as well. So, so I think for me anyway, it looked like I was being productive.
Yeah, I guess for me though, I was kind of just working.
Yeah, you graduated.
Yeah, so. I graduated. I was working in retail and also, just building our business as well. So. Yeah, a lot of people always ask me, hey, are you looking for a job? And I'm like, what do you mean? I have a job. Well, I have a job. I'm self-employed and I also work retail. What do you mean? And then,
a real job.
Yeah, a real job. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Used to get a bit butthurt, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, no. I think, definitely a highlight. I think, looking back the past 7 years, we've been able to do so much cool stuff, with so many cool people, and I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the next 7 years.
And I guess just looking back, who would you say was your favorite person working with, whether it be one of our investors or one of the collabs, one of our shoots, or one of our sellers?
Working with you, to be honest.
Working with me. Yeah. I'm your favorite collab, so you married me.
No. No,
good one.
No,
he's still got it.
Is that Riz John? No. I think working with you was probably the most rewarding part. No, seriously,
So I'm your favorite collab.
You're not a collab, right? We're partners. But I think working with you because I really think I learned more about myself, and I've learned more about you, and I've learned more about I think when you're in a relationship and you're just dating, right? It's really easy to be like, we're ride or die, this, that, but I think like when you work together and your livelihood depends on it, and you're in each other's faces for 24/7, and you're always making crucial decisions. You're in a pressure cooker. Things are always tough. It really tests you and tests the other person and tests the relationship. And I think like I'm honestly like, I guess what's been rewarding is the fact that like like having a business partner, like even like relationship aside, marriage aside, like having a business partner that's like so patient and like I think when we started, I think we've told this story on other podcasts before, but when we started, we were fighting on who would not be the CEO, right? I didn't want to do it. Like I was like, look, you're the sneakerhead. Like I'm not the sneakerhead. Like I'm good at the business side of things and all that stuff. But you were the sneakerhead. Like you came up with the idea. You came up with the name. You came up with everything. And so I didn't want to do it. I told you, I was like I want you to be a CEO, right?
I think for me, it's all merit. Yes, I'm the snakehead, I'm the brainchild, but being a CEO demands different things and requires a different skill set. Yes, I understand like the customer archetype, and our just our buyers and our sellers, but being a CEO is different, and that's when I was like, you know what, that is your strong suit.
And this goes back to why it's so rewarding, is because like you've actually like been ride or die, like the fact that like you've just backed me with everything that we've done. Like I've never had that, like like I don't think anyone really finds that like, hey, someone who's like a partner with you in business can like just like, hey, Justin, you decide this, let's go all the way, let's send it, right? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, let's send it, right? Like and sometimes like when I'm usually a very anxious person, I'm usually a very like overthinker, and you're just like, you know what, like if we fail, let's just fucking go, like let's send it, right? And so I think like that's been really rewarding, like working with someone that's like kind of made me more confident, but also has had my back like unconditionally. That's my point, right? Like the fact that like like we both didn't want the role, but you were like, let's do it, and you pushed me to do it, and then you pushed me to be better, but at the same time you've backed everything, even when I make mistakes, and I make fucking a fuck ton of mistakes. I made mistakes like this week. I make mistakes every fucking day, right? For you to do that, it's kind of like, like I think that's really rewarding, and just to be able to push and see how far, like a business relationship can go on top of a marriage, on top of like being annoyed at each other at home and shit like that. Like, like I think that's huge. Like to me, I'm like, that's been really rewarding, just to being able to actually work with a true partner that's like, that's got you all the way, and so you can kind of like just send it all the way.
Well, I don't think I can beat that answer on
It's not
who I would think the best person to work with. That was probably you probably weren't on the cards yet until you're like, oh, that's a nice answer.
I wasn't even on your top 3.
I don't know. I was thinking externally, right? But then you just
like,
came in with this, great answer.
It's
I'm
right.
like, oh, damn, good thing you went first. Anyway, that's great.
And this is the dynamic of our relationship.
What?
Anyways, all right. So who did you like to work with the most?
I don't know.
You don't want to answer anymore. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to answer it because I like working with everybody. I'm just such a people person.
Okay.
Which I am. I don't think I have a favorite. I've enjoyed working with everybody equally, and I'm just grateful that we get to continue to work with different people. And even if, even if it's a bad egg, like you learn a lot about yourself and the other person too, right?
Yeah.
So I can genuinely say like I've enjoyed working with everyone, even the more difficult, challenging people, because I've learned a lot of skills that I wouldn't have learned if I wouldn't have been put in that situation. I remember when we first started, I was like to you, wow, I need to handle difficult customers better, but nothing in the world's gonna train you on how to handle situations like that, but just talk to them, handle it, right?
Yep.
And that's where you kind of
You
just
just gotta
grow.
have to lean into it, right?
Yeah, you just lean in, you go head on, and you're like, okay, let's. This person is obviously unhappy. How do we deal with it? You just go literally balls deep. All right, I'm gonna learn a lot about myself. I'm gonna learn a lot about this person, and let's just make the most of it, and let's just learn from it. So, I've enjoyed every single interaction.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
Yes, saved.
All right, so that was what was on my mind this week. Anything on your mind this week?
Yes.
Yeah, work related, sneaker related, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, what I've seen recently is probably the Bape and Nike lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just found that really interesting because you know, you get your brands, you know, breaking up in partnership like Adidas and Yeezy. Now you've got Nike suing brands like Bape, and I just find it really interesting about, like, I guess the sneaker community and just the ecosystem and what's happening, and yeah, it's just really interesting. And I guess what's the angle behind every brand, right? There's always going to be, you know, like, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? And, you know, the media kind of spins it up in a certain way, but what's actually happening is different. So I always kind of like to think, okay, what is this? What's the strategy behind this? What's happening? And I guess what's going to happen next for these brands as well. And I guess these things are crucial, especially for our line of work, right? Because, you know, Adidas and Yeezy breaking up was a huge thing. I remember that day when the news came out and people were buying up all of our Yeezy stock. It was crazy, hey, Justin? That day was crazy. So it's just insane how things just flip 180 in just one post, one Instagram post.
And then I remember a lot of people were like, oh, does that mean that, like, sneaker reselling is dead because Yeezys are done?
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
So I guess for us, it's like for us to figure out if it's noise or a signal, right? So I always find it really interesting. Okay, well, this is happening. I think, you know, for the Bape and the Nike thing, that's probably just a noise. To me, I think that's just noise. But like the Adidas and Yeezy thing, that's definitely something that we had to kind of assess a little bit more deeper than what's happening now. But yeah, that's
so you're just happy that your Bape stars have gone up in price?
So I bought a pair of Bapesters when we went to Japan, and now they're I guess Bape has agreed to discontinue Bapesters. And
I think they said they're altering the design.
They're altering it, yeah. So for it to not look like, for those of you who don't know, if you look at a pair of Bapesters, they really resemble like a Air Force One, and some of the other shoes resemble like the Air Jordan 1 silhouettes as well. So obviously Nike wasn't happy about that. But I'm happy I got my Bapesters.
One of the last to be released.
Yeah, which is awesome. But I guess, what do you think is going to happen next?
I don't know. To be honest, I was too busy to follow that.
Yeah.
So I don't have an opinion on it. And that's the thing. We should normalize not having an opinion on things. Okay. If you don't, right? Like I don't have an opinion on it.
I have an opinion on it.
All right, what's your opinion?
My opinion. This is what I've been scribbling down in my notes before we had this talk. But so I could think about what to talk about. No, I'm kidding. So I think Bape is a very resilient brand. Yeah. So I don't think that would affect their sales too much.
Probably like, people were like, oh crap, like these are cool. Like,
yeah.
Like a lot of the new gen sneakers don't even know what Bape is, right? Like I remember talking to Martin's kids and they're like, Bape. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's a nice way to kind of, I think Bapesters may be done. Now they can refresh and do their own thing again. But like just with, Bape is such a strong brand. And I feel like
I love Bape. Like growing up, you know, I had
Bape was the shit.
Yeah, I had a fake Bape hoodie. I remember Mum got it from like Paddy's Markets or something.
Yeah.
I loved
Baby
it.
Milo, all that stuff. I remember
when people from school had real Bape. I was like, fuck.
How did they afford that? That's like a $400-500 jacket back in the day. Back in the day too, when things were much cheaper.
I remember. I was like, fuck, ballers, bro.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's crazy. But even to get that stock into Australia as well, you'd probably have to travel to Japan or the US.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what it was like back then when I was 12, 13.
There probably weren't even legitimate websites yet too.
I don't know.
But anyway, I do feel like, it's nice for now Bape to kind of refresh everything. They have a strong brand.
Yeah.
They've got heaps of cool shit. They always do cool shit. They always do really cool collabs as well. So I'm not worried.
I love Bape. I think they're a great brand.
Yeah, and
I wish we had more stuff. So if you're a reseller and you have Bape, products, send it through the platform.
Yeah, for sure. And I think all the existing Bapesters, I don't think they'll resell as hard.
Why?
Because I just don't think they'll resell as hard. Bapesters don't really resell at all.
Well, it's a good thing, right? Like, I think for the buyer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
they're relatively affordable, but to be honest, their retail amount is quite expensive already. So I just don't think they'll kind of go off chops like the Yeezys did when they first announced the separation between Kanye and Adidas.
Yeah, that's fine. What's interesting that you said that, right? And it just jogged my memory with something that happened this week. I remember we had like a comment like on Instagram. They were saying, it's resellers like you that like, where I have to buy stuff like so expensive, and blah blah blah. And I was like it was just funny, right? Because I'm like, what we have on our platform is just the market price, right? Whatever people are willing to buy. Because obviously, if it's like above the price, no one's going to buy it. But what's interesting is now that the market's kind of dipped a lot, we have a lot of things that are below retail. Like a lot of things that like is cheaper than if you bought from insert store name here.
Yeah.
A lot of our dunks are like way below retail. What we're selling dunks for like 120.
Yeah. Sambas are below retail.
Right. Like
well.
So I actually think that the marketplaces like us, but also resellers, they're just finding the most efficient price for the market, right? And if it's below retail, then you should be happy because you're getting the stock below retail. And if somehow resellers are still making a margin, they're probably making a loss, right? But they're giving you stock cheaper than what you otherwise would get it from insert store name.
Yeah, and I also think with resellers, they bring stock over from other countries into Australia. Because you know how we don't receive much stock at all.
Stock,
So like most of the stock, as you know, goes to Asia, goes to Europe, goes to the US. So a lot of the resellers are spending their time doing their research, importing it into the country, paying their customs and duties and whatnot to bring them here, spend so much time like looking into how to get stock into the country so they can serve sneakerheads, right?
Exactly.
And then, and sometimes the market takes a hit and they make a loss still.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
Yeah, and then it's the same people that are like, I've noticed they're like, complaining. It's like, oh, why is this above retail? Why is this so expensive? And then they can't get it anywhere and they end up buying from us anyway. Yeah. And then, or they're buying the stuff below retail. I don't see them, giving us, we don't do this we're not doing this to get people to like compliment us or anything, but it'd be nice once in a while to have like, hey, thanks for getting me this below retail. Like I've never heard that once in the 7 years of us operating, right?
No.
But right now we have so much stuff below retail, and so but I was like, this is like the lowest that the market's been over the past I'd say 3-4 years, and people are still complaining, why is this so expensive? I'm like, it's not. Like if you're buying like the TN football boots, of course, they're going to be 600, 700, 800 depending on the size, because
but it's like it's
so
supply
high.
and demand.
It's
right?
supply and demand, right? But they're complaining, but they're not looking at the other 50% of stock that's like cheaper than if you can walk into a store and buy it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess it's like every market, right? It's like what?
Watches,
cars, watches. It's the same thing that goes. Like it's all transferable.
Yeah.
But like, we're just here to provide a platform to make it safe and secure, and just to facilitate a safe transaction.
Instead of going on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, that's the other thing I've been watching this week on TikTok. I've been on TikTok too much this week. But like, there's like people scamming people like on Facebook Marketplace, like fake AirPods, and then they would be like, they're confronting them, okay, I'm going to talk more about this because I can go in wormhole, but it's so interesting, right? That like people are still scamming people on Facebook Marketplace, and
what do you mean? It's a whole job. That's their job.
Yeah, like they're full-time scammers.
Talking about what's a job? That's a job. Right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Like, that's what they're gonna do. They're out to do that.
So it's good that we exist, and you can buy sneakers, streetwear, luxury now as well. Safely and securely, and we help our sellers make a living, and we help our buyers get exclusive heat, and we we do it really well, and that's why I think we're so big in Australia now. So yeah, that was sorry, I hijacked your time for what was on your mind this week, but it just clicked. I was like, that's
that was it. I was just talking about the vape stuff, and it just kind of just nicely flowed into a conversation about people scamming people about AirPods with AirPods.
Yeah. All right. So just a segue. What is your sneaker of the week this week?
Ooh, do you have yours top of mind already?
Yes.
What's yours? You go first.
No, you go first, because then I'll have to change.
Steal your answer.
Yeah, exactly. So you go first.
Jeez. What's the sneaker of the week? Honestly, I've been looking at a lot of TNs.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the people in the live and just badgering me, TNs, more TNs, triple black TNs. And I'm like, or if it's mere exposure theory, because that's just what's hot. But I've been looking at a lot of TNs, the battle blues in particular.
Yeah.
I think it's because, when it's something you can't have and it just hurts that little bit more. So the battle blues didn't release in women's sizes. So I'm a size men's 5, women's 6.5, and they didn't come in my size. And obviously, because I can't have them, makes me want them even more. So that's what's my shoe of the week. So it's a bit of the live and the people badgering me.
What do you like about them?
I love white shoes.
Yeah.
So white, and then the baby blue with the blue. It just looks so calm. It looks so peaceful. Like I just think of like water. It looks so tranquil. I'm like,
it's weird when you don't think of the sky. Like it's
all the sky
blue, right? Like
yeah.
That's
Battle
the colorway.
blue.
Battle
yeah.
blue, sky blue.
Yeah. But I just think of like, it just looks so peaceful. Like red looks like such an angry shoe. It's like, I'm out to do damage. I'm gonna run really quickly.
You said that about the black shoes in the life. So now it's
Yeah, but
red
black is criminal activity. You know?
Okay.
Red is like danger. Red,
Yeah.
But the blue just looks so chilled. And that's why I'm like, you know what? It's such a pretty blue. And I think the blue and the white look really futuristic together. Kind of reminds us of the Wi-Fi modem as well. So it's like, just very in the future. So I'm like,
you
look
lost
at
me
the
there.
Wi-Fi modem.
Oh, like our Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Like white and blue. It's just really pretty.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like it. That's my shoe of the week. So if for those of you who don't know what the Air Max 10 Battle Blues are, check them out on our website.
What's the website?
www.pushas.com or our app.
I love the plugging. It's the best. My shoe of the week. I had a couple in mind, but I was like, now it's
Pick one. Come on.
So I gotta pick one. Let me think.
What have you been looking at? It doesn't have to be.
You know what? I'm gonna go on our website. I'm gonna look.
Okay.
I'm gonna look.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
Whilst he does that,
I'm gonna look.
John, tune in some elevator music.
No. You can talk. You can talk and feel the noise. This is what I've lived with for the past 10 years. All right, I picked a shoe.
Nice.
I think my favorite shoe right now is the Jordan 1 Low Year of the Dragons.
I knew it. I knew you were going to
How'd you
say
know?
that. I just had a feeling. I'm like, Year of the Dragons, come on. I knew it. Okay. Why?
Man, ever since that shoe came out, something about that shoe.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, this is me being superstitious now. I feel like I can't buy it because my zodiac clashes with the dragon. I have a lot of friends and my brother's a dragon too, but I can't like it clashes with mine.
Maybe talk more about the shoe. What is the shoe? Like, why is it like Zodiac?
Yeah, so
Talk to me.
basically the Jordan brand came out with the Jordan 1 Year of the Dragons, which is to commemorate the Year of the Dragon this year, right? That's the lunar new year, well, the lunar year of the Zodiac. So yeah, and because it's based on the Zodiac, you kind of have to be a bit superstitious with it.
Yeah, but I guess there was so much noise around the Year of the Dragon sneakers because the Year of the Dragon is considered lucky.
It's the most luckiest year.
Yeah, it's the most luckiest zodiac. So if you're born in the Year of the Dragon, you are a lucky
You're
zodiac.
made of money. You
Basically.
definitely don't have to work as hard as us to make money.
Everything comes easy to you. Life is a breeze. You'll always land on your feet. That's why if you know a lot of Asian people, they'll always try to have a kid that's born in the year of the dragon.
Yeah. Whereas sadly, my zodiac clashes with, and you might be able to guess if you can there and maybe do some research, and you could probably guess which zodiac I am, but I'm not gonna disclose it here. Yeah, it clashes with mine. So that's the only reason why I can't wear them, because it might bring me bad luck. So, but they're nice. I love the green on them. I love the the scale texture. Like, they've never done that before, right? They've done like the satin snakes, but this one's like way nicer. Yeah, the color's just nice. It's just the icy soul. I love the icy soul, like the wolf greys and the icy soul. I'm a sucker.
It's a bit of a murky soul on the bottom.
But it's so nice.
Not completely icy.
Yeah, but it's so nice. I love that blue, like that soul. So yeah, it's a nice. I think could be sneaker of the year this year.
Do you think so?
I know there's
no way that's sneaker of the year. No,
I'm just saying, like, we haven't. It's only
maybe it's your sneaker of the year.
No, it's only like we've only gone through like nearly halfway through the year.
Nah, that is no way the sneaker
what would you say
of
is
the
better?
year.
What would be better?
There's so many cool shit that has dropped. That would not be a
Give
sneaker
me
of the
one.
year. It's always gonna be a collab. It
Give me
will
one.
always
Give me one.
be a collab.
Give me one.
I had it top of mind.
Give
but
me
I
one.
Forgot.
Give me one.
I forgot.
Well, I can't put I forgot as the sneaker of the year.
I get all my how do I say? My essence of time is blurred. Like, this year becomes last year, last month becomes this month. Like, I don't know what's happening with how I view time anymore. It's just warped.
Well,
it's like a
when you do that, I'm gonna try and find a pair.
No, let me have a look.
There's a pair here somewhere.
Yeah, have a look.
And I'll show everyone actually.
Yeah. 2020.
All right. Let me frame again, am I? Awesome. All right. So look at this. Look at this shoe. Yeah, you get everyone's kind of seeing this, the little charm that you get. But how nice is this? Look at this. Look at this beautiful, beautiful shoe. Like, I'm telling you, look, the green, the scales, the gold, the red, the white, with the icy sole. I think this is like.
I know what would be sneaker of the year. We've
Yeah.
said it today.
What?
I reckon it's gonna be the Air Max TN Mercurial boots,
You reckon?
the Voltage purples or the Sunsets.
They're not
Or
like okay.
Tigers,
So
yeah.
they're nice. They're nice.
Crazy. They're fusing two shoes together. It's also like last year when the SB Pine Green Air Jordan 4s, I think they were the sneaker of the year because skate, basketball in one, that colorway. Now it's like a boot, a tan and a boot. It's crazy.
She's so passionate about this.
That's crazy. Like, don't you think?
Look, I think it's a great shoe. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a nice, but it's not sneaker of the year. Like, for me, I think how I would judge sneaker of the year.
It's not flat.
No,
it's a boot.
no. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, for me, it's like it has to be something that's like kind of universal, right? Like, for me, 2022, my sneaker of the year when I did the complex thing.
They're the SBs?
No, I said it was the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, the white Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones, and yeah, like everyone would look at that shoe and like, that's a fucking sexy shoe,
Yeah.
right? Whereas a TN boot, I think it alienates. How many it's such a polarizing shoe, right? Because so many people are like, I hate TNs. We both love TNs, but so many people are like, TNs are ugly. Such a lad shoe. This, that.
But this is like, to me, the TN boot is history. Like, similar to SB Air Jordan 4s, that's history.
Yeah.
We'll look back in 5 to 10 years' time and be like, yep, that was 2024.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dragons, it's like, oh, okay, Nike just did another Zodiac collab. Cool.
But this one's nice.
It is nice. Like, I agree with you, but I'm just saying it's not sneaker of the year. But you know what? There's so many drops coming out. Like, I'm really excited what's happening, what's going to happen from now until the end.
Is there anything else that you think might be top runner?
I think military blues, the Air Jordan 4s, but that's a retro. They're not really doing anything special about it.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of. But I think there's a lot of hype around that. There's a lot of people. I don't think it will be sneaker of the year, but it will get the same hype that the military blacks got.
Yeah.
You know how military blacks were pumping them.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was like, "Oh, like these are mad, these are mad." So I think military blues will be the same, but it's not going to be snake of the year for sure.
But I think the military blues are releasing like 1 million pairs worldwide.
Oh,
Which is good, right? Like I think the secondary market pricing, like on marketplaces like Pushas, it'll be relatively affordable. I think that's the good thing. But then I'm scared that if there's so many pairs, will the hype die down? Will it sit in retail? Would like people not, because people don't like to admit it, but I think when something's hype and it's sold out everywhere, that makes you want to buy it more, right?
Yeah.
Like as much as people want to be like, oh, I like that it's on the shelf now and I can buy it. You don't buy it. I don't see you buying it. Like why don't you buy it? It's
Why did you just walk past Foot Locker when there was a full size run?
Yeah, like the reason why it's on the shelf is because you didn't buy it, right? I'm of the view that I don't know, it might lose its hype, right? So I'm not sure.
It might be something like the Thunders. I remember they were sitting in stores for a little bit, maybe a week or two, and then afterwards it just went, phew, everyone just wanted it. So I definitely think it's a shoe that will 100% sell out. How quickly, we don't know. Resale, it'll kind of slowly shoot up for sure because...
Yeah, I think over time, it's shown that every Jordan 4 has gone up in price.
Yeah.
So I'm
100%.
like, of course it's going to go in price. Like there's not one Jordan 4 where I'm like, okay, it hasn't gone up.
I don't think there's a Jordan 4 that usually sits...
There's
on the
no
shelf
Jordan 4 that I know of anyway. You guys can correct me, but there's no Jordan 4 that I know of that is, but their market price is below retail.
But I really do think the military blues will be a hit, but not snake of the year.
Okay, wait. I think we had a question from, because we would put up the questions on Instagram. Okay, this is a good question. Martin Vu 7. He said, if you could start this journey again, what would you change? That's a hard one. That's a deep one.
That's too deep. I can't think so deep right now.
But that's good. I think
Okay.
it puts us in your face, so you have to overthink it.
You go first since I went first with my stick of the week.
Wow, threw me under the bus. This is basically how we run. She's always like, "Oh yeah, you do it. You're all the face of the company. You have all the accountability. I can."
Hey.
I'm joking.
And I thought we weren't exposing each other today. Come on.
Yeah. So, what would you change? Let me think about it.
It's hard because there's no regrets, obviously.
Yeah, everything that's happened led us here, right? So,
Yeah, and it's kind of like, what would you change if you change? It's a butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
You change something in the past, it might actually alter where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that question's really hard to answer.
Well, I think for me, and this is something that I've always told you throughout the past 7 years, is I wish I was a lot more, I guess, a lot more. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to phrase
I
this.
know. I know what's my one now. When you said that, I was like, oh damn.
Okay, for me, I think I wish I was a lot more kind of fearless.
That's exactly what I was
Right.
gonna say.
I think for me, I've always been like I overthink, I'm anxious, so I don't take as much risk as I should. I'm not as aggressive as I should be. I think especially when you're running a startup and you're trying to build a unicorn. I think a downfall is like I'm too scared. I'm too scared to like hit home runs, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh, let's just bat and get to first base or second base, third base. Like I should be hitting more home runs, and I think now I'm starting to learn that, and I think now I'm a lot more fearless. Well, I'm starting to be a lot more fearless. So I'm learning to just be like, you know what, let's send it. Let's just fucking send it. Because I think like even though we've grown to be so big, like I honestly can say that like we would be way bigger if I was just I didn't hesitate
We'll be
more.
quicker. We'll get to where we would be quicker.
Exactly. And if I didn't hesitate as much as I did, if I took more risk, if I was just like, you know what do we have to lose? Let's just go. Whereas I'm always like prudent. I'm always like, oh, okay, let's risk assess. Let's do this. And even though I think it can be a strength, like the fact that like we I think people like that there's a bit of stability in how I run things, right? But I think in a startup, there has to be chaos, right? Like Mark Zuckerberg says, you have to move fast and break things.
Yeah, I guess on the flip side of that, your foresight, your ability to kind of plan out different scenarios, what would happen if this happened, X, Y, Z, and just like mapping out the variables also kind of helped us get to where we are as well. Because imagine you were fearless, you could have been reckless if it was you too fearless, right?
Yeah.
So I
Of
think
course, there's a
maybe
balance.
dial it up a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
But not too much,
course.
because that's when it's just okay. Well, now we're just
Of
being
course,
reckless.
but I think you gotta like we could have like been a lot more aggressive. Attack markets earlier.
Yeah.
Attack markets like go harder, go faster, and I think we it'd be better. But I think it stems from a place of like lack of self belief. I think a lot of it is like, not as much now. I think I've built up my confidence because once you experience confidence, right? Like once you are more, you've had more experience and you've been in the ring, in the arena for a while. You start to know, get the hang of it, and you start to be like, oh, like I've got the hang of this. I know what I'm doing, and so you build that confidence over time. But I think like I'd say the first, even to now, I think a lot of the time it comes from a place of like I'm not confident, right? And I think, and I think that holds me back.
That's interesting. I think for me, it's definitely a mindset thing. I've probably changed my mindset more. In the beginning, I was always, similar to you, fearless, but I always held myself back from what I could achieve. And I always thought, nah, like I'm a female in a sneaker-dominated world.
What do you mean sneaker? You mean male?
I'm sorry.
So
I'm a female.
Just an aside,
Oh!
Sandy has this thing
Exposure! Oh!
where she says a lot of things. So she's thinking so fast that she says the opposite of what she means. So I always have to like pull her back.
Shots fired, my guy. Shit.
And so I have to like because that's the thing, right?
Kick
Like
me to the ground.
because the thing is,
It's still going, even.
no, because the thing that gets to me is that when you say one thing, then later you gaslight me, and you're like, I didn't say that. Like you're like, why did you do
Air
that?
out the dirty laundry.
You're like, why did you do that? And I'm like, oh, you told me to. And you're like, no, I didn't. I'm like, you told me to. He's like, nah, I would never say that. And so I always have to be like, so you mean this? You mean this? Just to clarify, and this is some some marriage advice to you guys out there. Being together for 10 years, you pick up a couple of things. Just always clarify with your wife. Sometimes she's so brilliant and she knows so much that it's too much to take. So she needs to like kind of stop a bit, slow down, and say what she means. So
All right, anyway.
So what did you mean?
Well, anyway, about my mindset until I got mansplained. No, I'm kidding. That's not what mansplaining is. Anyway, so for me, it was very much my mindset. Like being a female in a sneaker male-dominated community, I was always afraid. I was always like, I'm a female, I can't do that. Or I run a business. Or I can't run a business. Like I'm a female.
And you
Or
were
like
young too.
Or I was too young. It was always I was too young.
Yeah.
I didn't have a business degree. I came from I studied teaching, and I'm like I don't have a business degree. I'm a female in
Now
this.
you're an Excel whiz.
And then there's always these crutches or these excuses that I'd cling on to feel safe. And I think what Justin told me when I was younger is you're scared to see your potential. And when Justin said that to me, I was like, you know what? Like all these safeguards or this narrative that I tell myself over and over again that I can't do it. It's not necessarily I can't do it, but it's always these excuses that play back to me. But the moment I shifted my mindset and my thinking, I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. Anything anyone else can do, I can do. I'm going to do it. Like, let's go. So I think let's send it. Yeah. And I always think of the honey badger. If you've seen the honey badger video on YouTube, honey badger has no fear. And he's just literally fighting snakes and like animals that are bigger than him. And I'm
Naps
like, you know what?
Eats a lot.
And I'm like, I'm a honey badger. That's what I'm going to be. So that's the narrative I had to shake out, and just that negative self-talk and just a change of perspective. So that's what I would change earlier on. I think if I wasn't holding myself back a lot of the time, like I feel like my self-development would have been a lot faster than what it is. But you know what? Still developing though.
Yeah, we're still going. I think, and that's the thing, right? I think to wrap this up, it's even though we're 7 years in, there's way more to go. And
this is a journey. And you know what? If no one watches our video, we can watch it later in the future and rack up the views.
Yeah.
So we're good. This is for us.
I know where you're going with this.
This is all for us. It's that self-talk again where we won't get views and I'm trying to make myself feel better about it.
No,
Anyway.
but where I was going with this was more of a we have a lot more to learn. I think that's the thing. We always have to have a beginner's mindset. I think even though we've gotten to here, we're still at day one. Like I want to be, 100 times bigger than this. And that means that we've got to learn more. We've got to be faster. We've got to move quicker. We've got to, level up. And this is the thing that the team always gives me shit on is I always say we got to level up. And just keep leveling up and get better so that we can deserve to be bigger, and deserve to make a bigger impact, right? So I think that's my point. I know this ep got a bit deep. Like for the first one, it got a bit deep. It got a bit like I thought this was a light-hearted podcast because when we do like soul therapy or anything, it's like deep.
I think it
but this
cut
one
deep when you told me that, you aired my dirty laundry out. That's when it went deep for me. I don't know about you.
But but this is meant to be like lighthearted, about work, about sneakers, about pushes.
Until you started to tell me people that I used to gaslight you.
Because if I'm not here next episode, you know what happens. Think twice, you wonder why Senya has this other thing, which is always like,
again, it's happening.
Why do people think I hate you? What's wrong with everyone? You wonder why.
Anyway.
But no, thank you for tuning in on our first episode, our first podcast. I want to do this every week, just honestly casual. When we did soul therapy, it was a proper set, and it was great. I think the episodes were great, but it was like a lot of work and a lot of research into our guests, and really it was a proper interview format. But now I just want to just sit back, chill, and just talk stream of consciousness and just see what comes up. But yeah, well, thank you for tuning in. You can find us on Instagram at Pushas Official, TikTok at Pushas Official, Facebook at Pushas Official, YouTube at Pushas.
And if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or you want to see more from us, feel free to comment below.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell. Yep.
And we're gonna talk about, we're gonna answer your questions as well in the next podcast. So. And anyone that you think would be good in this podcast, just tag him in here and let us know. But
tag him in there.
I said tag them in there.
Oh.
Or maybe I said okay. I apologize if I say it, but tag them in there.
Yes.
And see you next week.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Oh, Justin, talk about airing dirty laundry.
I thought it was good, but I thought it was funny.
You just kept going and going and going.